At this point, we're ready now to take the request information that we're getting from our checkbox list and use that then to modify our SQL query so that we're only getting the countries that we're interested in. And to do that, we want to add an in clause to our SQL query. Let's take a look at that query as it currently exists. And so we need to add an additional piece to our where clause here, which will only give us the countries, the ship countries, which are in the list that we provided. And so we need to create that comma separated list first. And to do that, we're going to use another piece of server script. And rather than type all that in, I have created that. But let's take a look at what that looks like. And we go out and get, again, that same data funnel of country labels. And we're going to iterate through it just like we did in the other piece of server script. But in this case, we're going to take each of the country names, and I've mislabeled those as state names, but those are those country names, and we're going to check and see if we have a request variable which matches that country name. Notice that we lowercase it so that it matches up with the case that we saw in the variables. And in CenterView, all variable names are lowercased. And then we're going to compare whether the value, first of all, if we have a request variable that matches that name, and if we do, is its current value not off? And its only other option then would be that it would be on. And if it's on, then we want to include that, append it onto our string of comma separated and surrounded by quotes, and then we'll build that list of country names. And if that in the end, if that is, if we've got some, then we're going to set a request variable that we're going to call include states equal to that list that we've generated. So if everything goes right, we will go through and find all of the ones not set to off, append those together in a comma separated list with tick marks around them, and then we're going to set a request variable equal to that. And so now we can come out and we can take a look at the KPI console, and we take a look for this particular piece of server script, and we see that after we've run our server script, we now have a request variable called include states, which has included all of the states whose current value is set to on. But for example, Germany, which is off, does not appear in our list. And so that's what we want to then, that's what we want to have. And so jumping back over to our SQL query, So now that we have modified our SQL query to include only including those ship countries which are in our list, we can preview that. Again, we take a look at the variable defaults. We can set this request include states to be equal to a list, so that we can see our data here in the builder. And when we preview our query, we'll see that we're only limited to the United States. So now we're ready to take a look at our final product. And so when we preview our dashboard, we will cross our fingers, and now when we uncheck, for example, United States, we see that United States is dropped out. We can turn it back on, off, and easily filter out those country or data sets that we're not interested in at this time. So we have completed this tutorial with the functionality that we started out to include. Thank you.